皆さん、こんにちは。ミッキー京子です。ペギーさんとの2回目のセッションです。Thank you for coming, Peggy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, today she's going to talk. Oh my goodness, I am going to say it in Japanese.
Yes.
Completely forgot. ペギーさんは、アイルランドにいらっしゃった経験があるんですけれども、それはとても不思議な経験なんですよね。それでそのことを、話していただくことにしております。Okay, Peggy, then please tell us about the feeling like you wanted to go to Ireland. That's,
Hmm.
would you point out?
Yes, Ireland
Yes.
is actually an island
Mm,
off the coast of Europe. It's a part of Europe,
mm,
but it is an island totally surrounded by water, and it actually
mm.
is two countries.
Northern.
Northern Ireland
Mm,
is actually a part of the United Kingdom of the
mm,
UK, where
yes.
the majority of Ireland
Mm,
is called the Republic of Ireland and a
mm.
different country
Different
from that.
country. Yes. I think it's very difficult to live because some time ago it was one country, right?
Yes, it was one country, and there have been many years of fighting,
Mm.
for the independence and things. There's a long history
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
All right then. Um, you said you told me that there was no time you didn't want to go to Ireland. So that means you've wanted to go to Ireland for a long time.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. My biological family came from Ireland and Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
and but they came to the United States
Yes.
in the 1700s. So it's
They came in 1700.
right. My family line from Ireland and Scotland came to the United States in the 1700s.
Wow.
Yes.
Mm.
So we, I have no relatives that I can trace back to Ireland, but we
Mm.
know that the family line came from
Mm.
Ireland. And what I didn't realize until I actually went to Ireland
Mhm.
is that I grew up in a very Irish culture.
Even in this
In
country.
this country, when I went to Ireland, I discovered that I was so excited because Ireland is known for its soda bread. That was, and I said, oh, I get to have soda bread. Well, I had soda bread and said, well, I've been making this my whole life. I know what this is.
The taste.
Oh, exactly.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh
oh.
yeah, and there are many varieties of soda bread, with different ingredients, and this was nothing unusual to me at all.
Oh.
Um, Whereas I didn't realize, I mean, we didn't call it soda bread
Then
in my
what did you
family.
call?
Just bread.
Oh, just bread.
Yeah, it was either yeast bread or not yeast bread or something, but the name soda bread is very well known in Ireland, so that was interesting. But just lots of things. I mean, even some Irish words, were used, and
Oh, you use?
well, it was just common.
What kind of words?
Well, shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so that's the name of a person. No? No?
No, just shenanigans is acting out, acting crazy. And
Oh.
one thing my grandmother and my great grandmother would say, do not leave this house screaming like a banshee.
Banshee.
Banshee. And banshee is actually an Irish word. It's the I forget exactly. I think it's the women who would cry and do the grieving when someone would die, or other descriptions of it, they are the other beings,
Mm.
the souls that come in crying
Oh.
as they pass. But
Mm.
banshee
Mhm.
was a term, that was frequently used in my household because I did do a lot of
Crying.
running around, not
Oh,
not
running,
crying,
running.
but just outside playing, screaming, running.
Oh, I see. The banshee. One moment, please. ちょっと日本語で説明しますと、うん、先祖の方はですね、1700年代、1700のあたりにアメリカにいらっしゃったんですね。かなり前にいらっしゃったんですけれども、あのアイルランドのいくつかの習慣をずっと守ってらっしゃって、その一つがパンですね。ブレッド、ソーダブレッドっていうのはとても有名なパンで、ペギーさんはアイルランドに行った時にそれを食べたいと思ってらっしゃったんです。ところが行ってみたら、Oh, I know this! これ私がずっと家で代々作ってきたパンと一緒だわというような感じで、結局アメリカにいらっしゃった方たちがずっと伝統を守って作ってらっしゃったんですよね。そしていくつかの言葉もあの、アメリカに来てもずっと受け継がれて、その言葉が使われてきたそうなんです。Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, when did you go to Ireland for the
Oh,
first time?
for the first time, I went to Ireland in 2008.
2008.
Yes.
Mm.
And I had a relative, a second or third cousin or something, who had told me that she had tracked down what probably is our family home from that line. Um, my that family, the name of that family line was what we pronounced MacMahon. In Ireland, they call it MacMahon.
Oh, almost the same, just tiny
MacMahon,
difference.
MacMahon.
Mm.
Um, MacMahon. And
Mm.
so we said in
Mm.
America, MacMahon, but
Macma.
not how they pronounce it in Ireland.
Mm.
And so that particular house,
Mhm.
they called it a castle, but it's not really what you think of as a European castle. It was a house that was about 50 feet square, a square house with 4 stories.
Wow.
And so it was a fairly large house, but at any rate, I was able to find that because this cousin had told me about it.
You could find it?
Yes, yes, it's on a peninsula, not an island off of Ireland, but a peninsula out into the Atlantic Ocean. And it's actually under the care of the Board of Tourism now.
Ah.
So I was able to go to it. I've been to it 4 times.
Wow.
I've been to Ireland 4 times, and each time I
So
go
may
there.
I understand your ancestor lived there?
Well, as far as we know, yes. We think the 1500s. We think they were. It was conquered by. If you go back into Irish history, it was taken away from them in the 1500s. And England took ownership of it at that point. And we don't exactly know where the McMahons moved from that point, but that's where they think the family line came from through there in some way.
It's
So,
amazing. Wow. So I guess it's a old building. Old
it's very
building.
old. Yes, it was built. I think it was built in the 1100s. Yes, yeah,
100.
1100s. Right, right.
And then now it's kept as a tourist
Well,
place.
it's a tourist attraction. You can't actually go in it anymore. Structurally, it's not safe to walk up the stairs and things like that. But it is still, all the walls are still in place. And the stairwell is in place. You can see it. You just can't go inside.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
One moment, please. びっくりするようなことをおっしゃってくださいました。それはですね、2008年、2008、ペギーさんはアイルランドに初めていらっしゃいました。それはですね、いとこの方のある、一人の方が、1500年代、1500 era に、た、あの、彼女の祖先が住んでいたであろうと言われる建物があると。そこに行かれたんですね。で、今それは旅行者のための建物になっていて、中に入ることはできないんですけれども、外から見ることはできるんです。この建物は、4階建てで、そして実際に作られたのは、なんと、1100, did you say 1100?
1100s.
Yes, 1100年ぐらいの時に作られた建物らしいんですよね。とても古いんですけど、ですから彼女の、先祖の方は、そのお城に住んでらっしゃった由緒正しき、You could be a princess 方なんですよね。それで初めて行った時に、どんな風な気持ちになったか聞いてみたいと思います。Peggy, when you saw that building for the first time, how did you feel?
Well, it was quite an experience. That particular day, we went to that house, that structure, and we spent the afternoon on the island, and um, not the island, but the peninsula. But I went more than just looking at the building. I walked to the edge of the property. It's on the out looking out over the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm,
And I went to the edge of the property, looking out,
yes.
just looking out at the water, but also looking out at the past, looking at the history of my family coming from this place, and looking at the past and looking at the future. It was quite a view to stand there, and in fact my husband had taken a picture of me standing there just looking out at the sea, because I was there for quite some time
Mm,
looking out. Yeah. And from there, from the day that the first time we visited that, we went from there to another location called the Cliffs of Moher, which are these enormous cliffs, again, that look out into the Atlantic Ocean. And I was walking along this trail that follows the ocean, and I turned, and when I turned, I felt as if the goddess of Ireland, who's called
Eru,
Eru,
Eru.
the goddess, I felt like the goddess herself came up to me and opened her arms and gathered me in and said, "Welcome home, my child." And it was just an incredibly beautiful, loving, warm experience, and I was so thrilled. And I knew I had come home. I mean, I had prior to going to Ireland the first time, I had had several past life memories of living in Ireland. I mean, I've had all my life, I've had these spontaneous past life memories that have come up, but several of them were in Ireland, and so I knew I had come home when the goddess brought me in and held me close.
Mm, my goodness. One moment, please. うん。その建物があるところから、まずその建物を最初に見た時にですね、その向こう側に海が見えるわけですよね。そこに立って海を見た時に、その過去ですね。先祖って言いますか、ずっと過去が蘇ったような気分に彼女はなったそうなんです。そしてその場所から次の日、 もう少し別のところに行って歩いていたら、ある場所に来た時にですね、何かとても不思議な気分になったんですね。それはどういう気分かと言いますと、女神が、その土地の女神が彼女をこうやって抱いて、ああ、Welcome back! よく帰ってきたわね、と言ってくださったそうなんですよ。で、それはもう非常に温かなふわーっとした感じに彼女は包まれて、もうそれは嬉しかったと。そしてそのことが起こっても変だとか思わなかったんですね、彼女は。なぜかと言いますと、もう小さい頃からそのドリームで、夢で、その土地に関わる夢を彼女はよく見て、それを覚えていたそうなんですね。ですから彼女とその土地とのつながりは非常に強くて、そのこう抱きしめられるような気分になったこと自体は本当に美しくて嬉しくて、心の胸が躍る体験ではあっても、怖いとか変だとかそういう思いは全くなかったんだそうですね。So you never felt scared or anything like that, right?
Oh, no.
Opposite, opposite.
Right.
Like so warm and
Hmm.
comfortable and peaceful.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the first, well, time you visited. Yes.
Hmm.
Then after that, you visited, did you say 3 more times?
3 more times, yes.
Yeah.
Each time going to sacred sites, even the first time, the my intention with each of the trips was going to the sacred sites, where the standing stones and the mounds, and following that trail of the ancient Irish.
And I think there is a place which is called Tara. Tara, no?
Oh, Tara, yes, Tara,
Yes.
yes.
I thought there's a story, Gone with the Wind,
Uh-huh.
and the main place is called Tara.
Yes.
Scarlett's father is from Ireland. Ireland.
Ah,
So that's why I think it was called Tara. And then Tara is a kind of a sacred place
yes.
in the
It is. It is one of the sacred centers in Ireland. Yes.
yes. You visited the place
Oh, yes. I've been there several times.
several times. Wow. Oh my goodness, it's time's up. But please let me tell you quickly. 彼女が最初に訪れたその不思議な体験をした場所から、またしばらく行ったところにタラと呼ばれる非常に神聖な場所があるんですね。で、そのタラというのは、マーガレット・ミッチェルが書いた Gone with the Wind というののタラと同じだと私は思っています。というのは、スカーレットのお父さんはアイルランドから来たことになっているんですよ。戦争がそうなってるんですね。だから、マーガレット・ミッチェルはターラというのをわざと使ったんだと思います。Yes. Well, Peggy, thank you very much. So, second session is over. Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.